I've already made 2 videos kinda talking about the same topic, and it's kinda might get to the point where it's gonna be like a monthly occurrence when I talk about this, and what I wanna talk about today is just more interactions that I've had at the gym to kind of prove why you should never be self-conscious about going to the gym. And if you're thinking about going to the gym, just go ahead and do it because no one really there cares about you and will judge you in any way. So over the past like few weeks, I've had multiple interactions with people, even the same person multiple times that just, it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth and makes you want to consider whether or not my life is worth living anymore. And then, if I just want to walk into the ocean and to never be seen again. The first little story in my saga of human interactions going absolutely catastrophically wrong, where there's not enough blood in my brain, involves like this one guy who I was doing the machine dips, just sitting there, and this one guy asked if he could work it and everything, and I was like, you know what, sure, I really don't mind at all in any way, just because I'm not gonna really say no if someone wants to work in, because I'm not an asshole. But anyway, like he asked to work in, and like he sees that I write my stuff in my notebook, and I don't even know why I started writing like my workouts in a notebook and tracking my progress in a notebook. But that's kind of just how I've been doing it for the past like few months. And so he said, "Oh, you write in a notebook? That's kind of raw." I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of what I do. I don't know why I do it. I kind of just saw people around the gym do it, and for some reason, my brain just also said, I'm gonna say this sentence. I look at them dead in the eyes, and I kind of also just say, it's because I also want to aura farm at the gym. I was like, I've seen people around, and they look so cool doing it. And I want to aura farm like them too. I don't know why I said that to them. Like, even if like everyone knows what ore farming is in this time, like I don't know why I'm like audibly face to face in human interaction saying that there's a reason why I do slang, and it's because I want to ore farm. It wasn't even true. I don't know why I said that, but that's just something that happened. So he just kind of looked at me, it didn't really acknowledge it, and then like I bid him farewell. And then about like 30 minutes later, I'm like finishing my work, and I run into him again, and he just like says hi again. He said, "Oh, you're finished?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm probably gonna do cardio though." He said, "Oh yeah, I really don't do cardio." And then for some reason in my brain, I just went like this. Yeah, I really don't like cardio. When I do cardio, I feel like I want to die, but after I do it, it's kind of fun. So I just like apparently just exhibited some suicidal tendencies to a human being in real life, and he also just looked at me. He didn't even acknowledge it. And then before we bid farewell, he wanted to dap me up, but the issue is that I had my right hand occupied with like my notebook and my water bottle, and so instead of just saying like or trying to give him a fist bump, I turned my left hand upside down and do like an inverted like dap up right there. And then like that's like the only thing that I said that actually like, kind of or I did that actually like took him aback a little bit. Like, I could see a bit of a pause in him, but like I don't even know what the hell was going through his brain again. And I'm letting you know now. I did see him like a week later, and he didn't even acknowledge like any of our other interactions that I've had. So. But then again, in this third interaction that I had with him, I also did say I was a meta abuser at the gym, so that's kind of also another really fun experience where I was like, yeah, I follow the meta. I'm a meta abuser. Don't even know if he knew what that meant. But that's just I in 3 interactions I've had with the same person, all 3 of them went catastrophically wrong for me in some way. And not once did the guy seem like he really gave a fuck. So that was just kind of interesting. He probably just thought I was like a weird guy at the gym, a little quirky dude. And so that's just like one bit of a saga that has developed over the past like week and a half, where once again, 3 terrible interactions with them, three interactions where I'm just like the most awkward person of all time, making both of us uncomfortable, and yet he just still doesn't really care. That's one big thing that kind of happened, but it's also just something that makes me want to cringe at myself and be really unhappy that I exist in the way that I do. And then another one like happened, it's kind of like really a scary moment of mine is when I get asked to spot someone. I just finished RDLs, and so that's an exercise I do. And then after I finish it, my brain is not working properly. I'm kind of just in the liminal space between being a human being and being a single-souled organism. But anyway, this guy asked me to spot. I just asked like how many you're gonna do. He's like, I'm just gonna do one. I'm like, I'll just like say help me if I need help. So of course he needed help, so I did have to help him up. And then after I helped him up, he's like, damn, I really thought I had it this time. I'm like, yeah, you'll get it eventually. I don't know why I said it, because like I literally said you'll get it, and then I paused for a second. Eventually, like it sounded like I was being really passive aggressive, just kind of making fun of him for failing. Even though like I legitimately couldn't even like sniff the weight that he was trying to bench press on, so I was kind of scared that I would fuck up the spot anyway. But like, I don't know why I sounded so passive aggressive there. I do that all the time at the gym, where I just like say stuff in a really passive aggressive way because there's not enough blood in my brain to make it so that I have the resolve to just hold back any sort of second or first thoughts that I say. Usually, the first thing that I think at the gym when I do legs is the first thing that will come out of my mouth, and that's just what happened there. So another one where I'm kind of an asshole to someone. Like I've talked later, or I've talked like previously about how I'm like just really aggressive when it comes to me not hearing someone, where I just like go, huh? And I still keep on doing that, just to let you know, just in case you were worried. Why did I do that to myself? Why did I do it? Why did I just say eventually to the dude, making it seem like, I was kind of just like making fun of him a little bit or being a little bit passive aggressive? I don't really know. But once again, probably overthinking about this. The guy probably didn't give it a second thought, but it's just something that, once again, sticks in my brain and makes it so I feel like I did not, successfully interact with that person. And also, like, a third thing that kind of just happens at the gym, it's not even really embarrassing, but it is kind of funny, is that you sometimes have the nice offs or like you and another person are both being really polite to each other, and it becomes like a kind of a semi competition to see who can out nice the person that you're talking to. And so while I was waiting for like the seated leg curl machine, this guy was like doing one set. He was taking a little bit of time. I really didn't give a fuck though, because I'm fine with waiting, and also I was tired. My hamstrings were torched from doing RDO, so I was just waiting a little bit. And he gets off. He's like, were you waiting for this machine? I said, yeah. He's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. You could have asked to work in. I was like, I was doing one set. I would have asked you to work in anyway. I was like, no man, it's fine. It's completely fine. I'm okay with working. It's okay. I'm okay with waiting. It's okay, man. And we just keep on going back and forth. There's like apologizing for just existing in the same space as the other person. And then eventually got to the point where like it was just like we both understand that we're kind of being too nice to each other, and we just fist bump and fuck off away from each other. That's really how that interaction ended. And it's like those are also the types of things that happen too. And so it also does help me remind myself that every single person there at the gym is really bad at interacting with human beings. Because not a lot of us are really thinking about talking to people. It's more thinking about, if I don't get this weight up, I will kill myself. And then you get your weight up, and then you smile. And that's really kind of all that people are really thinking about at the gym. That's all they're doing. And so you will have, and I think that like the third interaction is really more of the epitome of like the culture that I've seen at the gym, where it's just people, rather than being assholes and like judging you, everyone is going above and beyond to not seem like an asshole and just try to out nice the people around them, because they do not want to seem like the dude who's making the gym a toxic environment. And that's kind of like the epitome of what actually happens, at the gym and at any place you go. And I will say this might be like a biased, biased viewpoint of mine, because I do go to like a college gym, so like maybe everyone is just like 18 to 22 years old, and so there's not really a sense of hierarchy there. But it really doesn't matter also at like any public gyms or any like non-school gyms, because I've had basically the same experiences with people anywhere I've gone. And so I kind of just want to like once again just talk about my history at the gym this past month. And it might just be a common or monthly occurrence that I do, where I talk about how I'm just really good at making myself uncomfortable for the people, and been overthinking any interaction that I have with people who will just not think about me more than once in their entire life, and that only one time is when they're talking about me. Like, once again, it is kind of just like this thing that I like doing, where it's just like, if anyone's thinking about going to the gym and they're afraid of like the scary people there, you're gonna run into a lot of people like me who just are begging that they don't make anyone uncomfortable, and really hoping that they don't ruin their reputation. And if anyone's an asshole to you, they're like one in a million people that no one really likes them, and they're probably hated by everyone who goes to the gym there too. That's really all I got for today. So, hope you enjoyed me once again talking about how I embarrass myself in front of people in real life. That's all I got. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.